Aloha, everybody.
Hi.
We've got Janine Worthington here, the creator of the In Between Tarot. I'm going to chat a little bit. But first, let me say hello to Blue Crescent Tarot. Hello, Deanne. Hello, Wandering Mountain Bardic Path. Hi, Jamie. I think that's it right now. I know more will trickle in as things continue. I'm just going to pull it up on my phone because the chat on StreamYard is always a little bit, delayed.
I've just noticed that I can see the comments at the side now. Yeah, I've just pulled them up. Oh, yeah. Hi to everyone. Hello.
There we go. Oh, yeah, it says we got 6 watching. Oh, Turo Stash. Hello, Gerald. Yeah, I'm seeing comments pop up on my phone way quicker. Oh, Blue Crescent Tarot says, sip, sip, last sip of my first coffee. So we got people spread out all over the place coming in. So your deck in between, I know it's your ideas and then Franco Rivioli is the artist. Is that right?
He's the artist, yeah. So he's Italian artist, and then Lo Scarabeo, the publishers, Italian publishers, yeah.
And did you approach them or did they approach you for the project?
Well, I was actually recommended by Marcus Katz of the Tarot Professionals because and he said to Lo Scarabeo, I know somebody who has this in-between concept, think this would be a really good idea for a deck. And then I got in touch with them, they got in touch with me, and they asked me to have a look and see who I would like to do the artwork on it, which was fantastic because I got a couple of different choices and I really fell in love with the work of Franco Rivoli. So I liked his style of art. So yeah, I was in a really nice position, actually.
Yeah, I do. I gotta say, the artwork is amazing in this deck. So this deck has obviously been shuffled quite a lot because I've been using it for my 3-card draw, just to get used to it. And the thing that I really love about it is, like, with the majors, you definitely can see the 2 that they're drawing from, right? And then the minors themselves, if you lay out all of them in sequence, you actually get this repeating story, right? It's a cyclical story that just keeps repeating from the beginning to the end. And I love that. So is there anything in particular you would like people to know about the deck? I know that the courts are a little different.
The courts, yeah. So I've got it circular again, so it goes from the page to the king and then back round to the page again, which is something completely new. And I wanted to show not just the ages involved with the court cards, but there's the issue of gender in there as well. So I have females in there with the kings, and I have males in there with the queens as well. So the question has been asked, why have you done it that way? And I said, well, we've all got female and male qualities. It's all about that balance within us. It's inherently there. So I wanted to get that across in the cards, So we're not just going with the same, you have to have a woman in the queen card, you have to have a man in the king card. It's all about the same person's journey through that court card cycle. So it follows on from the different stories that are in the minors. Yeah,
I'm trying to find here we go. So the one that really just brings it home for me is the courts of the coins.
The suffragette period, yeah.
So let's see if I can hold up all 4 at once. But yeah. So you start with the page.
Yeah.
Is just learning. And then the knight is that same page now, a little older and pregnant. And then the queen is that page who's now had her baby. And then the king is her teaching her daughter to be the next page.
The page, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is that
So,
that journey, that cycle through life. And I wanted to use the same character, so I thought about it. And the traditional, obviously, to have your female queen, your male king, etc. And I thought, no, I use the same character to show them going through those different stages. So the energy within night, which is a bit unstable, it can be a bit erratic, and that plays out in the different elements. So I wanted to show that with that same character, and then moving into the more creative energy of the queen, and then into the more stabilizing energy of the king, and then background page, so, but with the same character. So it's not that bit raised a few eyebrows, because some people said, no, you can't have a woman in the king card, you can't have a man in the queen card. And I said, why not? Why not? Why can't you change the rules with that? It's different, of course, but we can't stick with a rider weight forever. Things have got to change and make. Yeah.
Right. We can't get stuck in one mold when there's so many
Different ways
variations
of
out
looking
there.
at things. Yeah. It's just another way of looking at things. So
Do any of the characters in the court cards show up in the minors that they're the court of? Or that's a slightly different story, right?
Oh, sorry. So, did you say the characters in the court show up in the minors? Is that what you said? Yeah. So in the ones, we have that. We've got the same woman.
Right.
Yeah. But it shows. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And is she's in the court cards as well?
Yeah, we've got the same red-haired lady in the court cards, and it shows her progressing through like university, and then in the end she's constructing something as well. She's moving into a leadership position. And then moving back around again to the page, she has hold of the little page's hand, and she's kind of initiating her into those creative courses that she's been doing. So there's that cycle again.
Yeah. I love that you just continue with the cycles and create something that, like, if you know the cycle, you know the story of the cycle, then it's easy to pick up what the card is saying. Because I know some people were a little confused by because it's not the typical imagery, right? Because you're pulling from two energies here.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique concept.
So just to show some of the wands here, I didn't pull all of them, but here's the 3 of Wands, which is 3 of Wands, 4 of Wands, right? And then the 5 of Wands is 5 of Wands, 6 of Wands. And you see that same redhead.
And you can see the 5 in the background, because you've got all those people in the background of the 5 to the 6, which is like the competition and like all that energy surrounded them, and then they're moving into that progression to the next card.
Right. And then just as an example, I have the 7 of Wands, 8 of Wands. So you can see that progression. There they're running, and then here mirror image. Then she's protecting him, right, with that fire.
Yeah.
And you get that 9 of Wands vibe with the wands behind her as well. So I just love this deck. It's like, it took me, I gotta admit, it took me a little while to wrap my head around what was going on. But once I did, it was like, oh, wow. So yeah, and then I have the Court of Wands here. You have the page, she's just starting her schooling, right?
Yeah, 1 foot up on the step there, 1 foot up on the ladder. Yeah.
And then here in the night, oh no, wait, did that backwards? No, here's the page. So here's the page, she's graduating. And then it looks like that's that same guy that she was protecting. And then here she is as the knight entering into the next level, basically.
And you got the the name of the card at the bottom as well. Now I was really unsure whether I wanted that because I just wanted the 2 cards on either side. And I actually put forward a little bit of an argument about having that at the bottom, but in the end I understood because when you're shuffling the cards, you need some way to be able to order them.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Like
get
in
that.
So even though I've got that, and I said, no, you need to still have that bit of an index at the bottom. So when people are shuffling it, and I understood that made perfect sense. Yeah.
Then here she is as the king bringing her daughter, who is then going to go through the same cycle that she just went through.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing, is the cycles, really. Once you understand the secular nature of the deck, I think it makes it a lot easier to read, especially because, you know, if you end up, say, pulling the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands, whatever, the thing that I like that in your book is that you find these pairings right here where it's the same card and you connect, and then these 2 cards get connected that way.
Yeah.
So when you're pulling cards in a reading, you can see how they're connected with the other cards. And someone was suggesting that like a 3-card pull is more like a 6-card pull because they're reading all of the cards. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I guess I could see that. But at the same time, I feel like these guys really are just, they're their own thing. Yes, you get the energies of both the cards that you pulled from. So Ace of Cups, 2 of Cups, right? But I'm not going to read this as the Ace of Cups and 2 of Cups. I'm going to read it as that in-between space.
Yeah, so, how do you get from one to the other? So what's it like? A bit like the next step method, which is something from the Tarot Association. They used to teach that. What is your next step? Where are you moving into? And you can also look at the energy that you just moved away from as well with those cards. Yeah. So you could look at it a bit like you could have it as a 1 card as well. Like this is the past of the situation. This is where I currently am, and this is the energy that I'm moving into. So they're a bit, what's my word, like eclectic. You can do different things with them. You could do, like you said, just look at that in-between stage, or you could look at the 3 different stages.
Right. Yeah. No, I get that. And that's the thing that I really like about how you got both cards on either side, is because you can either just pull from that straight title that, you know, you weren't even sure you wanted. But I think for some people it's helpful to see that, just so they know what they're supposed to be focused on. But then they also see that it's like this is the 9 of Cups, 10 of Cups. So you see that combo, or no, coins, sorry. And it's like, I love how each of the suits also just tells a story. Like this is all about rights for women and blacks. So it's like the whole coin suit is just different scenes in this battle for the freedom of all. So
I wanted to show with the coins that really, you know, that you, especially that group, you know, they had to really strive for votes, for material things, for equality. You know, it really was a big push towards that. And that's how I see those pentacles and coins, you know, like well-earned, like security and yeah, important things. Yeah.
And then I gotta say, that's one of my favorite fools.
I am just taking off.
Just, you know, embracing that magician energy and just going for it. So cool. And I mean, all the majors are just like spectacular, like Sun and Judgment together. So that image is just breathtaking. So many of the images just like struck me and being very deep, and yeah, like the Emperor and the Hierophant, and then you have the astrological signs up at top too, right?
So. Well, that one in particular, so before this deck, there was the Majors Only version of the In-Between Tarot, and that came out in 2013. And that was one of the images that we had in the majors only one as well. And I wanted to keep that same concept because I thought it was quite striking, you know, having the Aries party on the cliff and then the Taurus and what they both stood for. And then the chessboard is the moves that you would have to do to get from one side to the other.
Right.
So yeah, the majors only deck was just, well, it was 22 cards and we had some extra bonus cards in, and I self-published that with my dad, who's a graphic designer. And we sold so many copies of that, but then decided to go with the full 78 card deck with loads of mayo. So it's been a deck ongoing for quite a few years.
Yeah.
With a big pause.
Well, just like all of these guys are going through a journey, you went through a journey as well to bring this into the world. And I love this comment here. Let me see. Personal opinion. Create a deck true to your vision and read how tarot works for you as long as the message is true, right? I agree, Jamie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was going to suggest that maybe we do some readings with the deck.
Yeah. Should I get my cards out as well?
Yeah. So I figure we could each draw one per question and then just see how they interact with each other. Yeah. So if anyone has any questions for us to do a reading, or if you just have any questions for Janine, just pop it in the comments and we will get to you as soon as possible. I guess we could do a group reading to start with, just to give an example.
That'd be nice. I'm going back to one in Mountain Path's question as well. I used to, you know, when you start out with tarot when you're younger and they say you've got to have crystals with your deck, you need to have it in a special box, it needs to be this and it needs to be that. And then when you get to know the tarot yourself, you learn that you have your own way and you don't have to follow any specific rules. Which is the nice thing about it, isn't it? It's your intuition that's the important thing.
Right. Jamie has to leave. So apparently I need to find another mod. Okay. Well, I think I can handle things for the moment. Yeah. And Jamie says, yes, exactly, Janine.
Yeah, I see. Right, Auntie's just come online as well. Hello, Auntie Rita. That's nice. I've not seen her for a long time. That's nice when your family's supportive. Okay, I'm shuffled. How many cards are you pulling, Jonathan?
I figure we could each pull one and then see how the two interact with each other. Okay. So this is just a group reading for the collective. Oh, interesting. So I got the 10 of coins. 10 of coins, ace of coins, right? And what did you get?
I got 3 to the 4 of wands. Do you want me to start?
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I love that.
Breaking free of restrictions and getting back out there again. Okay, so relighting those buttons and going back out into the world. I mean, we've been in lockdown and COVID restrictions for as long as I can remember now. So it's just about meeting up with like-minded, creative people, your friends, your family, your little soul group, you know. And it shows here going back up the path, getting back on your own path, again, your life path. And there's festival in there, there's excitement and there's enjoyment. So the lights are all being lit again, and there is that bubble up of excitement and creativity. I'm moving back into the 4 of wands, so we're going towards a celebration. Yeah, a celebration of freedom and life.
Right, and we have the equality now here. So talk about freedom, and it's the 10 of coins with the ace of coins. So we're finalizing something to do with our material world right now, getting revamped with that energy of the wands and starting fresh, right? Starting with that one coin to start over again. I think a lot of us are stuck with that situation. So just remember that even though we are starting over, we have that path ahead of us leading to celebration. So don't despair that you're starting again, because we're all starting again. We're all on the same path in a way, right? And together we can rise, we can find our paths again and take them to the mountaintop where the party's waiting for us. So
that's nice that you said that as well. I put a song to that particular card one day, in the stories on Instagram, and it's the words of Charlie Chaplin. He did his speech about rising up, and one of the bits of I forget who the singer is, but in the Charlie Chaplin words, he says, "And we'll rise," and that was what you just said in part of the song. So, yeah.
We have our first question. Well-tempered Claire would like to get a reading on the energies around work career. Okay. Quick shuffle here. And I gotta say, I love shuffling. This is like the perfect size deck for me. It's not super big, it's just right, and it shuffles like a dream. But I love La Scarabeo decks. So we have this one, and then the next one. Oh, I love it. Turo Stash, my friend Gerald, does these hashtags on YouTube called Turo writing prompts. So he wants us to pull 2 cards for his writing prompts. But let's focus on Andrew here, Well-Tempered Claire. Get a reading on the energies around work career. Okay.
Do one each, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got the 2 of Wands, 3 of Wands. So obviously, work career. There you go. You're trying to juggle your 2 balls, and then there's this guy over there juggling 3, trying to get your attention, right? And his torches are unlit, so it's almost like he needs your fire to get going. What did you get?
The 9 to the 10 of Cups. So this is going back to somewhere where you feel settled, where you're happy. It's like coming home. So the 9's where you're spending energy on your own, working on yourself, your own stuff. And then the 10 is like rejoining the group. So it's doing something around people and a certain group, that make you feel happy and make you feel secure, and just kind of using the creative energy of the group in order to kind of network and yeah.
Well, I see both of them are all about connecting with others. So I think the energies around your work career is learning how to collaborate with others. Like here you're getting a juggling scene, right? But they're almost ignoring each other. But in a way, he needs her fire to really get things going. So it's like your inspiration sparks other people. And with that 10 of Cups there, it's like you need to not just spark their inspiration, but also help bring like emotional completion to them. So
Yeah. This is you walking into that environment and being welcomed in as well, and being part of a team where you're happy. It's got to be work that is pleasing to you and not just about money. You have to be emotionally invested and connected to that work and the group that you're working with in particular.
And finding that passion that you can help spread to others too.
Yeah.
Hope that was helpful, Andrew. Okay, this one I'm excited about. 2 cards from my tarot writing prompts. Yes, Tarot Stash.
Hello, Tarot Stash. What a great name. I love it.
He's got quite the handlebar mustache too. He's trying to groom me and my facial hair. I'm only growing facial hair because my son requested it, and I don't know how much longer it's going to last. I grow facial hair for a while, and then I just don't really, I don't know.
It does suit you.
Thank you.
It does.
For those of you who don't know, these are the backs of the cards. Gorgeous.
It's that continuity with the Ouroboros. I can never say that. You know, you got the snake eating its own tail, that the cycles. So it's the emphasis on the cycles again. Yeah.
The cycles, right? The repeating cycles with no ends, right? I got the Page of Wands, Knight of Wands. So
I've got the Devil to the Tower.
Oh, okay.
So he wants 2 cards for his tarot writing prompt. So is this what he wants to write about, the energies in the cards? Have I got that question right?
Right, yeah. So what he does is he picks 2 cards and then uses that as a spark to write a story. And then he reads the story to us. So
yeah. And so the Devil with Capricorn. Okay, so there is work underway, but it can sometimes be a little bit controlling and it can sometimes be a little bit manipulative. So we have got the person here guiding all of these slaves forward. There is that control element. You know, he has control of those people. They have no say, or at least they think they have no say. And they're walking forward into like this glass house. Okay, and the glass house is easily shattered, and you can see the lightning bolt coming down from above, which is that tower energy, which is that sudden Mars, violent tower energy, which is about to shatter the glass house. Okay, and we'll see what will happen then. You know, maybe these people will then be free. Maybe this person will be entrapped then, so it will really change the situation. And there's a story about people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
I love that. And then here we have someone who's so excited to graduate, but then in the foreground you see this person marching up with the wand. So it's almost like, now that you're graduated, I need to take control of your flame. So there's that control element there as well.
Oh, you see that different. I'm thinking of that as, don't forget you forgot your wand.
Right? Well, no, but it just kind of like ties into what you said about control. And I was like, that could be a controlling figure right there. I have your flame, so I control your passion. I control your creativity. And I know when I first saw this card, it's obviously like, here, let me give you your wands. But then just to tie in with what you were saying, I saw that like as a controlling figure too.
Isn't like, that interesting that everyone sees different things? Yeah. I love that. That's how it should be.
Right? Well, that's why I love the deck, is because it really just lets you have total freedom as far as like how you see things.
Yeah. To me, about the cards that you pick, the cards that you buy, you've got to be able to put your stamp on them. If there's too many rules, then it stifles creativity, I think. So, yeah.
So Gerald says, this should be interesting. I'll tag you both and this video when I post the video.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Gerald. I look forward to it. Does anyone else have any questions for readings today?
Jonathan, would you like a card?
Sure. I'd love one.
You did a really lovely reading for me. I think it was in January. Do you remember about my court case?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. It was very, very good advice.
Good.
Have you got anything that you want to ask, or do you just want a general card?
Well, I am stuck in a situation where my current car, Prius, had its hybrid battery pack die. And now I've got my mom trying to get me to fix the hybrid battery pack, which this is like the 3rd time in 6 years. And it's like anywhere from $2,000 to $6,000 to get it fixed. And then I have my husband pressuring me to like trade it in for a new car. But I'm like, well, isn't that even more expensive? So I don't know. I'm a little torn as to what, like, should I fix the old car or go for the new car? I guess is the question I have.
Ace of Swords to the 2 of Swords, so it is a difficult decision. You've got to make, you have no choice about it. But I would suggest, with it being an ace, I would go for the new rather than try to repair the old. But it does say, there are difficulties associated with that, and you're well aware of them. But with the two, you've just got to make that difficult choice and then see where you end up with it. But I would suggest, definitely going for the new with this.
Well, and it's that same decision is like so hard, just like pulling a sword from a stone, right?
Yeah. But go for it.
Definitely.
We're at the start of a process of it as well, so the new, there's more probability that nothing's going to go wrong with the car. If you're refixing old, you probably end up on a 9 or a 10, wouldn't you? More likely.
Right.
Yes.
Well, and the funny thing is this was the card I got. It was Strength and Hermit. I love this card so much. So there I am, trudging up the stairs, trying to figure things out. Do I go with the lady or do I go with the lion?
Going into the mountain, yeah. The spiritual mountain. I think there's one from Aquarius.
There is. She says, should I participate in Camp NaNoWriMo next month?
That sounds interesting.
For those of you who don't know what NaNoWriMo is, it is National Novel Writing Month. NaNoWriMo. Wow. I participated once, probably like 6 years ago. It's definitely gets you into writing. You have 1 month. It's the month of November, and you just gotta write. Camp NaNoWriMo is it's more of like a prep, I guess, to get ready for November.
I see your indecisive state with the 4 to the 5 of Cups. Okay, so these are being offered to you up above from the cloud. Okay, and you're not looking at it. Okay, and other people are kind of a bit unsure whether to go for it as well at the moment. So you've got the emotions invested in it. I would say for that one to kind of have a really good think about why you want to go for it, why it's important to you, and that could kind of point you in the right direction, because this one sees you as a bit nervous about approaching it.
Well, and that goes with Ace of Wands, 2 of Wands, right?
Ooh, yes.
So you're trying to find that creative spark. You're trying to like create the spark in a way. So it's like that conflict, the water is almost putting out the fire, but you're holding on. You're trying to get that divine wisdom, that divine creativity to like come down and really spark your own imagination, your own ideas. So yeah, I think that you should, because it will help you in the long run, just to help with your creativity, that spark that you're looking for.
I think that's a big yes. I think this is background to how you're feeling, and then I think Jonathan's card really gives you that shove.
Right. Grab that fire and just embrace it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this is cool. So Well-Tempered Claire says that while we were giving him the reading, he got a job interview call. I love that.
Well done.
Well, yeah, what's the job? You don't have to tell us if you don't want to.
Amazing. And Aquarius Al says that makes sense. Thank you. You're welcome.
Very welcome. Yeah, I love. I will admit I was a little stumped by this deck when I first got it, but the more I read with it, the easier it gets. And like I said, for about a month, I was doing these guys for my 3-card draw. I usually do my 3-card draw at the end of the day too. So just to help me process what I've been through during the day. I used to always do them in the morning, but then I'd never come back to them. So that's why I started doing them at night, just to help with like processing of the day.
That's a good way to do things. I teach online. So I teach analysis subjects, and my co-trainer, we're both doing it on Zoom. She asked me to do 5 cards for her. She insists on 5 cards in the morning. So I've started doing the 5 cards because she insists on 5 cards. But it's a lot to kind of process, and then you find you're watching out for those things in the day, aren't you? And you're like, but then I like the fact that you're doing it at the end of the day because there's no expectation. You're just kind of processing it all.
Right. So, and it just that way I'm not like looking forward. It's more processing what's already happened via the cards, just to help like, and a lot of times it's like, oh, that's what that was. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Like, oh, that's what that lesson was, or oh, that's why that particular sequence of events happens because of the energy of this particular card.
I think that's a better way of doing it, because can you imagine if you pulled like the tower at the beginning of the day, and then all through the day you're thinking, oh my God, when is this going to come in? When's my journey going to be disrupted? Yeah. But if you look at it from the end of the day, you can have that, oh yeah, that makes sense now.
And I'm telling you, these really worked well for that because of the fact that it's like, I don't know, a lot of times I'd pull cards and then like 2 of them would have matching sides and it'd be like they would be connected, and it really helped me process because I'm seeing the connection between things. Whereas sometimes just a regular tarot deck is like you're not seeing that in between. So
yeah, they're very much standalone, and I didn't want to go with that low Scarabeo style. The Rider-Waite style. I refuse to go with the Rider-Waite style because I think that it's been done a lot of times, and I wanted to go with something completely different. So I rebelled against that in a way.
Oh no, that's good. I mean, we have so many of the RWS clones out there. It's nice to have something that is very unique, very usable once you actually like. I mean, it really helped me break out of the mold, and like I think I do better readings because of it, because I'm not thinking just of the card I pulled. I'm thinking about the cards on the other side now and that in between space. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted for people to make those connections. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So Deanne says, I often draw a week's worth of daily draws at the weekend. Works out well for me to reflect that way. Still gives lessons and provides growth.
That's interesting as well. I like that too. I'm picking up some things.
She said while, but I told her read it as whole, which is what she was trying to say.
That's a very good way, and like in life in general, and if you're teaching or training, you know, that reflective practice is really good as well, isn't it? To have that, yeah.
So Regina says she does a daily draw in the morning, 1 card that you put in a little display stand, and do the contemplation at the end of the day. Oh, so you pull the card, so you know what it is, but you don't really contemplate it until the end of the day. Okay, I could see that too. I draw 3 just because, I don't know, the single card draw is great, but I think 3 just kind of gives you a broader picture, at least for me. Well, I'm able to do daily draw recap now because I love it so much. Okay.
Can I hear a bird? Is that a bird in the background?
Oh yeah, dawn is finally hitting. We have a ton of doves that come to our yard. So there's doves. I hear doves. Occasionally I'll hear a rooster. There's sparrows. There's myna birds. There's
wow.
We're like right on the edge of orchard right here. So
beautiful.
And part of the orchard is a protected wetlands. So we get so many birds here. It's actually kind of funny. I was giving a reading once just like this in the same spot. And at the beginning of the reading, the woman had this cardinal like bang at her screen trying to get into her house for some reason, and then start screaming at her. And then it flew off. And at the end of the reading, I had a cardinal suddenly plop on my little fence right here and just start screaming, like to the point where she heard. And she's like, "Did that cardinal end up at your place?" Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And then the orchard has a what's the group of peacocks called? A muster of peacocks. And they're weird little, not little, they're weird birds. They like to peep on you.
The peacocks.
Yeah, they're peeping toms.
They're beautiful. I love them.
I've had times where it's like in the morning and I'm getting ready and I'm upstairs and I hear honk honk. I'm like, what the? And I turn around and it always seems to be the window right above my altar that they come and like stare in at me. So no, I mean, it's like the first time it happened, it was a male peacock with 3 peahens, and they were just standing there, just like. I'm like, what's going on here?
I've got a peacock feather in my top hat there.
Oh, I love that.
This is the hat that I wear at festivals. If I'm doing my workshops, I have my hat.
I love that hat.
When I had black curls instead of blonde, I looked a bit like Slash from Guns N' Roses.
Oh my God, this is funny. Blue Crescent Trail says you should make a peacock deck. They could be peeking in on everything. Oh my God, that is hysterical. I love that. I should do a bird deck, considering how many birds we have here. I mean, wow, it is looking stormy outside. So we're in the middle of a week-long storm. Yesterday, we're on the dry side of the island. So for us, it's like, it's kind of nice. It's sprinkling. The wet side of the island is getting so much rain that a dam overflowed. And they're thinking that if it overflows again, it's going to end up breaking.
Right.
And they're evacuating people. And
oh my word, right.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, it's good because technically Hawaii, the entire state, is in a drought, an emergency drought situation. Right. So for us to get rain is great, but it's too much all at once.
Too much.
All right. Yeah. So the ground can't absorb it all.
We have a lot of floods in here in the UK, especially in certain parts of Manchester as well. And yeah, it's not good. But we're very used to rain over here. It's always raining in Manchester.
Right.
Yeah, I need some sunshine. Look, see this picture at the back is my wish list. That's where I'd like to be. Nice and warm. Yeah.
Well, and what's funny is a lot of times I'm sitting on my couch and there's a image there of like a very tropical beach with lava rocks and the waves crashing. And it's like, it's one of my favorite beaches here on Maui. So, yeah.
Sounds nice.
Oh man! Apparently, a few people thought it was Slash.
Yeah. Somebody else said Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac, which was a bit more complimentary. And then somebody else said Boy George.
Boy George. I like the Stevie Nicks one. It's fitting.
I like Stevie Nicks.
So this is a great idea. This deck, I'm assuming, would be great to use on cross quarters as we transition from one season into another.
Oh.
That's a cool idea. I like that, Gerald. So, does anyone else have any questions for Janine about anything, or if anyone else wants a reading, just let us know. This is one of my favorite hermits.
Yeah, sat on the musical notes, suspended in space, completely alone but happy. I like that card too.
Has all the, I love how you have the elements, but then the lamp, the lamp has the same colors, right? So he has the lamp of knowledge, the knowledge of all the elements, which is very cool. Oh, we do have another question. Kristen Louise.
Hi, Kristen.
Welcome. I didn't know you were here. How do I emotionally handle today's challenge? Oh. Is today the day that you are going to the doctor, Kristen? She's trying to get surgery on her hip, but she keeps getting denied.
Okay.
So. Oh, it's okay, Kristen Louise. You be quiet if you need to. You're not required to speak if you don't need to. Oh.
Judgment revealed. Okay. So looking back on everything that you have experienced and trying to let go of the negatives, focus on the positive. And when you do that, you will be able to rise above it, the difficulties and the challenges that you're facing, and it'll pull you through to completion with the world card. Okay, so it's trying to rise above it with this card, focusing on the positive.
And that goes with this Five of Wands, Six of Wands energy. So it's like it's time to put the conflict behind you and embrace the victory is what I'm getting. And that victory will help with that, right? Help you rise from what it is you're stuck in right now. And she says, no, it's something else. So it's not the surgery. Okay, good to know. Yeah, I see. Go ahead.
Sorry. I mean, see, like with the major cards about the big life experiences, it seems to be something quite deep. So, and I was speaking today about splinters with my little girl, you know, and splinters can be like negative thoughts or negative things around something. And once you're able to get rid of those splinters, you know, then you're able to let go of something. So this, to me, feels all about having the challenge of having to let something go in order to move on and to move upward.
All right.
So,
and
sorry.
Totally goes with this. No, it totally echoes what I was going to say. It's just that this is about like letting that conflict go and embracing the rebirth that letting it go offers. So don't cling to any kind of fight. Let the fight pass and move on, because you know here you're moving on to a new life. You're being reborn. So reborn into victory.
It's not an easy card though. It's a difficult one. It's heavy energy.
Yeah, especially with those people glowing eyes in the background, right?
Yeah, it's a conflict thing, she says.
It's a conflict thing. Okay, yeah, it makes sense. Oh, hi, Mystic Rose Tarot.
Amy, you okay? Hello.
2.5 days of snow. Oh no.
I've not spoken to you for a couple of weeks either, have I, Amy? Hope you're all right. I know that you were getting loads of snow, and it looks like you get even more of it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, Kristen Lee says, okay, that makes sense because it is a conflict thing.
Yeah.
And you're very welcome.
Resolving it, because when you get into our judgment and the world, you know, you are flipping through to the next stage where you go back round to the Fool again, which is nice. So you are moving through it. You are making progress. I do like it when you get to that point where you've got like a bit of light in sight when you get to judgment and you think, okay, I've not got far to go, and then you start another chapter. Yeah.
Yeah. especially with that 5 of Wands. It's like, put that conflict aside. It's gone. You don't need it anymore.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, and look, I just pulled open the deck, and that's what I got.
Wow.
So yeah, you're getting double confirmation there. Can I give you a reading?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I would love that. Thank you.
Do you have a specific question or just a general?
No, just a general one. Yeah.
Just a general. Okay.
We've got so many things going on at the moment. I wouldn't know where to start.
I know, right? I'm the same. I've been filling my plate to excess, I think. This just keeps coming up.
Wow.
Yeah. So just like I said to Kristen Luis, it's time to put the conflicts aside, embrace your victories, and pay no heed to those gawkers in the backgrounds, because they're just looking on in jealousy at your victory. So time to seize that victory and move on, right? Of course, then you get the 7 of Wands, which is all about protecting your viewpoint. So
Yeah.
but I think in this case, it's just letting you know that it's okay to embrace your victories and not feel guilty about it, right?
That's it. Yeah, be proud of your achievements. And yeah, there's no harm in that. Definitely not. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Makes sense.
Thank you for that. I needed that, is what Kristen Luis said.
No problem. You're welcome.
No problem at all. So do you have anything to announce or let us know about, or do you have a new deck in the process? Or
I have, yeah. I haven't got any prototypes at the moment, but I'm working on an oracle deck of bridges, and I'm doing that working with my dad again. He's the graphic designer, Janine Worthington. And what it will be a deck of what you need to connect to within yourself, whether it's like physical, whether it's emotional, whether it's spiritual. And it's going to be a nice deck where you just pull a card and it will tell you what you need to focus on. And that's the nature of the oracle card. It just gives you good, positive messages. I've never actually made an oracle deck before, so that's the first for me. Yeah. And that'll be my third deck. And I've got another deck in mind, but I'll have to do that next year. I haven't got time this year. And a book that I'd like to get started on, but I don't really want to reveal about it.
How many cards is your oracle deck going to have?
It's going to be roughly around 40 cards, then maybe a few over.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
And Gerald wants to know when it will be available.
We're hoping roughly for October. We don't know whether we're going to go with a publisher or self-publish yet. We've not decided, but I'm doing a presentation at the UK Tarot Conference down in London. So I'm hoping that we will have some decks with us by then. So roughly around the October mark.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I keep putting little tidbits out on my Instagram, just to little snapshots of the cards. Yeah.
I remember seeing a few of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Betsy just made it. Aloha, Betsy.
Hello.
She's a friend of mine who lives here on Maui. She's a medium, and she and I So this Thursday, I'll be on her channel, and in 2 weeks, she'll be here.
How nice.
Yeah. And speaking of, next week, I am going to have Lisa Santine, the creator of the Destiny deck.
Ooh, nice.
I have both of her creations here. Can I get them both on screen? There we go. Destiny deck and the Tarot Treasury.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah. I really look forward to this chat. She's just a total sweetheart. And both of these were Kickstarters. And she was just so loving and so just like checking in with everybody, sending everybody individual messages and just like over the top with love. So yeah,
Yes.
pretty amazing. And I look forward to our chat. She actually, I did a reading session with this, me and Amber from Lavender Moon. Lavender Moon's the channel. We were reading with this, and Lisa came and was in the audience. So
Lovely.
that was fun. Yeah. So what I need to do is find someone with this deck to come on with me. Of course, you know, can't beat having Janine herself here. But if any of you have this deck and want to do a day of readings with me, please let me know, because this deck is amazing. And anyone who is interested, this is Blue Crescent Tarot's wearable crystal grid. I made for her on her channel. And then when I was on Gerald's channel and he was opening his box with his, I created this one. Yeah, so these wearable crystal grids have kind of started exploding to the point where I now have a list. This is the first one I made here. So yeah, if you're interested, please reach out. If you are interested in any ancestor readings or past life readings, also reach out to me. So and I have Janine's links in the description below, as well as a little tip link if you feel like sending me a tip. And then Gerald just says, I have the deck. I enjoy reading with it and would be available to do readings with you if you want me back. He was on here, was that last week? That was last week. The weeks are bleeding together.
I did see that one. I've not had a chance to watch it, so I'll have to watch that. Yeah. Yeah,
we used the This Might Hurt. I have that still. No, put it away. So thank you for that, Gerald. That was a fun day of reading. So thank you everyone for being here. Thank you, Janine. If you could just wait one moment after we stop the live. And if you guys have any ideas for either decks or deck creators you'd like to see me interview, please let me know in the comments below. And I'll do my best to get people on here, because you know this is what we do, right? This is what we're here for, is to talk about decks, and I love being able to pick the brains of the creators. So, and thank you so much for agreeing to be here, Janine. It's been amazing.
Thank you for inviting me on. I'm really grateful. It's been great. It's been lovely to talk to you, and nice to meet everyone.
Okay, everybody. Until next time. Aloha. Wait, where am I? There we go.